Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, or Jiu-Jitsu, Ro-su, traces its origins to Japan's samurai era, long before it evolved into the modern grappling arts we know today. The term itself combines ju, ro, meaning gentle or yielding, and jutsu, su, meaning art or technique, reflecting its core philosophy, using an opponent's strength and momentum against them, rather than relying on brute force. Centuries ago, Japan's warrior class developed this art as a form of unarmed combat for situations where a samurai found himself disarmed or in close quarters with an armed opponent. Early practitioners needed methods to subdue or control adversaries wearing armor, where striking was ineffective. So techniques like throws, joint locks, chokes, and immobilizations became essential. While grappling and close combat traditions existed in Japan for hundreds of years, the first recorded formal school of jiu-jitsu was by Takenouchi Ryu, founded in 1532 by Takenouchi Hisamori. During the late Muromachi period, this school incorporated not only unarmed grappling but also weapons training, such as short sword, staff, and rope binding techniques, establishing a foundation for future systems. As Japan entered the Edo period, 1603 to 1868, centuries of relative peace under the Tokugawa shogunate transformed the martial arts landscape. Without constant warfare, the samurai began refining combative methods into structured training systems, known as ryuha, schools or styles. During this time, jiu-jitsu evolved from a battlefield necessity into a disciplined martial art for self-improvement, dueling, and personal defense. Many influential schools emerged, including Ryoi Shinto-ryu, founded by Fukuno Shichiroemon Masakatsu, and Yoshin Ryu, established by Akiyama Shirobei Yoshitoki around 1642. These systems emphasized techniques of throwing, nage-waza, joint manipulation, kansetsu-waza, choking, shime-waza, and weapon disarms, codifying methods that could control an opponent efficiently with minimal effort. Some styles also included rope tying, hojo-jutsu, for restraining captives and tactics for fighting both armed and unarmed foes. The overarching principle of ju, or yielding, remained central, redirecting the opponent's energy, rather than confronting it directly, a philosophy that would later influence other martial arts such as judo and aikido. Following Japan's Meiji Restoration in 1868, the old samurai class was dismantled, and the classical martial systems they practiced entered a period of decline. As Japan modernized its military, education, and social structure, many feared that jiu-jitsu, once essential for battlefield survival and unarmed combat, would disappear entirely. Instead, Japanese jiu-jitsu adapted. In the late 19th century, skilled instructors and scholars began reshaping the art to fit a rapidly changing society. No longer needed for armored combat, jiu-jitsu was refined into a discipline focused on physical conditioning, self-defense, character development, and technical precision. Different schools, or ryu, emphasized their unique strengths. Some specialized in throws and off-balancing, others in joint locks, restraining methods, or atemi, strikes used to create openings. This era also saw the rise of new teaching methods that systematized training and made it safer for larger groups of students. One of the most influential figures of the period, Jigoro Kano, studied several of the old jiu-jitsu traditions and used their principles to develop his own modern interpretation, judo, which would later gain global popularity. But even as judo spread, it did not replace Japanese jiu-jitsu. Instead, it highlighted its depth and helped preserve many of its core ideas. Meanwhile, the traditional Koryu jiu-jitsu schools continued to pass down their techniques much as they had for centuries. Arts like Kita-ryu, Tenjin Shinyo-ryu, Takenouchi Ryu, and Data-ryu maintained their original kata, strategies, and philosophies, methods designed for real combat, emphasizing timing, efficiency, and the principle of yielding to control an opponent. Today, Japanese jiu-jitsu stands as a bridge between the past and present, a living legacy of the samurai that has adapted across eras without losing its identity. It remains rooted in the idea that true power comes not from meeting force with force, but from understanding how to blend with it, redirect it, and ultimately master it.